Hello, welcome back. How's it going, everybody? Today I'm gonna do some more reviews here in a little bit, but today we're gonna be talking about, there's two different types of people. Just regardless to everything actually, but we're gonna be talking about this specifically about Bigfoot. Also, real quick, guys, I have a new Patreon. This Patreon is gonna allow you guys to follow along, be notified when I put videos out, and also we're gonna be doing a treasure hunt, and it's gonna be done through Patreon mostly, and so make sure you follow that. It's in the description. Um, and what I mean by this is about the two different types of people is there's people that are truth seekers and then there's people that are truth makers. And let me explain what I mean by that, right? Um, and this has to do with everything in life, but especially when it comes to Bigfoot and Sasquatch, we see this a lot. Okay, so I'm going to relate this whole thing to Bigfoot and Sasquatch, but you can relate this to anything in life, really, right? So let's start off with the truth seekers. All right. So if we assume that there is something out there in the world, whatever it is, and we're going to use Bigfoot, so there's Bigfoot, supposedly, right? Now, the truth seeker is going to try to find out everything they can to find out if it is true that Bigfoot exists. If they see a footprint in the forest, they're going to try to examine that and find out if it's true that it's a Bigfoot footprint. They're going to see a branch that's snapped, a teepee in the forest, a stick formation, and they're going to ask themselves, is this true that this is a Bigfoot created thing? And so what's going to happen is they're going to investigate. They're going to investigate those pieces of evidence. Remember, evidence is only evidence if it's true, right? Just because you see a twig snap doesn't mean that it's evidence of a Bigfoot, right? It could be a deer, it could be a person, it could be a bear, it could be a number of other things, right? And so what happens is if you're actually looking for the truth, you're going to see that snapped branch. You're going to go examine that branch. You're going to see if there's any hair, any blood left behind. Maybe the Bigfoot scratched itself on the branch. Are there any footprints around? Are there um, any other pieces of evidence? Right? Is there a trail you can track? Can you hear anything? Do you smell anything? Do you see anything? And if all you can see is if you can prove that let's just say that you go to that tree branch, you look at it, there's some hair on that branch, and then you look on the ground, there's some footprints, and the footprints, oh, wait a minute, that's a bear footprint. There's no big footprints. It's muddy, and the only thing around that branch is some bear footprints. You look at the hair, you look on your phone, we're not all experts. You do your best to figure out what it is. If it looks like a bear hair, there's bear footprints, you got to use Occam's razor to say, okay, well, it's probably a bear. Right? So you found the truth. That was a bear. Now let's go to the truth makers. I'm trying to explain. Let me try to explain this in a way that I think makes sense. A truth maker is someone who has their idea of the world in a certain way, and everything that they do is trying to confirm that view. And when that view is not confirmed, it really confuses them and it makes them angry. Because you can't, if there is a truth and you're going against that truth, then no matter what you do, you can't make something that's not true true, right? So then your mind gets all confused and you kind of justify things in weird ways. So let's relate this to Bigfoot, right? So in this way, people that relate to truth makers, they think, well, so let's go back to truth seekers for a second again, okay? Remember, a truth seeker is someone who's trying to find the actual truth. There's a truth out there, and they're trying to find what that truth is. A truth maker has the idea of what is true in their mind, regardless of what is actually true, and they're trying to confirm everything to that truth how they want it to be rather than what it really is. Or trying to make it what it isn't to what it is. So a truth maker will see a footprint in the forest, and instead of investigating it, they go, look, footprint confirms Bigfoot's real. Automatically. Without doing any further research. It could be a Bigfoot footprint, but they're only going to look at it, and even if they investigate it, they're gonna investigate it. Oh, there's a branch that snapped over there. There's a footprint here. Uh, they're not going to actually look around. Let's just say that, for example, let's just say that in the previous example, where there's a twig snapped with some hair on it and a bear footprint. That's what they find. Now, that person that's a truth seeker is going to say, okay, well, it's probably a bear. They're going to use Occam's razor, or whatever it's called, and they're going to say, well, it's probably a bear. The truth maker is going to look at that, and they're going to make up every excuse in the book why it's not the bear. Right? There's a twig snap. There's some hair on it. The hair looks like it's a bear hair, but they're going to say, well, maybe the Bigfoot has bigger strides. Maybe it came in here before it got wet. That's why there's no footprints. And I mean, this is possible, but it's not likely, right? But they're going to make every excuse in the book why that twig snapped and the hair is really a Sasquatch hair and a Sasquatch snapping the twig rather than what it's most likely the case if there's a big footprint there happens to be a bear footprint or a bear track, right? Same thing with the teepees. They see a teepee, oh, it's automatically a Bigfoot teepee. Like, you know what I'm talking about when I say teepee, not an actual teepee, but those logs, that we don't know, or we do know. We don't know if those are actually Sasquatches making those or Bigfoot's making those. It could be any number of things, whether it's Bigfoot or an alien or a human or whatever else is out there. We don't know exactly if every single of those teepee structures is made by Bigfoot. But for a truth maker, they're going to see that as evidence that they are correct. They're going to, or even if they don't believe it, they're going to want to believe it so much that no, that TP thing has to be a Bigfoot. It's out there. Even if some teenagers or someone made it the night before to sleep in as a shelter, right? They're not going to do any research. It's just automatically, um, the truth, right? And so what happens is the problem is with this mindset is if you're a truth maker, you're not actually finding anything. You're not actually discovering anything. You're not actually getting any smarter ever. It's just everything's conforming to. You want everything to conform to what you think, and even if it doesn't make any sense. And so, what happens a lot of times is you're gonna go out there and you're gonna see these things, these pieces of evidence. They're supposedly, let's just say that I take a truth maker to the forest and I show them a teepee, and they're like, get all excited. Well, that has to mean that Bigfoot's true. And then I tell them I made that yesterday. You know, and instead of realizing, crap, like I should have done more research, they're gonna get mad at me for tricking them, which doesn't make any sense because like anybody could have made that. It doesn't just because I'm admitting to me making it doesn't mean it's my fault for tricking them. It's they were tricking themselves by believing stuff just to confirm their theories in their heads. And when things like that happen, they get all confused, and it just makes their world just comes with a lot of things, right? Not just Bigfoot stuff, but a lot of different things. It's like these commentators that go these YouTubers that go out and they interview they make up they take statements that are from one politician, but it's really and then they go talk to people and they tell them it's from the other politician, and when it's the politician that they like, they're totally fine with those comments and they're like, oh, those comments are awesome, I love it. But as soon as they're like, actually these are from the rival, then they all of a sudden hate them. And these are the people that are, if the statement is true, it should be true no matter who said it, right? But these are truth makers where they have this idea that this person's evil, therefore everything that they said is evil. There, and I've been told by the news to believe everything that that person says is evil. Therefore, when they get confronted with the truth, all of a sudden their mind freaks out and they get all. It's really funny to watch, right? Regardless of what side of the aisle it is. So, anyways, guys, this video is just a reminder: be a truth seeker. Actually, want to discover what the truth is. If that footprint is not a Bigfoot footprint, you should want to know it's not. If it is, you should want to know it is. But you shouldn't just have this mindset that wants to conform everything that you believe is true just because you want it to be true. You should be actually seeking the truth at all times, and that's the only thing that's going to further along the research. And a lot of people out there think that Bigfoot people are crazy, and it's not true. There's a lot of evidence out there. It's hard to say proof, right? But evidence out there. There's so many sightings out there that I have to believe that there's something out there. The problem is when you're a truth maker, you make everyone else that's in this field look crazy. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, and stay tuned. We're gonna be doing some treasure hunt stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later.